Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh, and welcome to Ahkam SOS live here on Imam Hussein TV 3. We're going to be taking your questions, so if you have any questions you'd like to ask, please send them in via the WhatsApp number there below. The QR code is in the corner there. You can scan that and that'll take you straight to our WhatsApp page. If you're watching on Facebook Live or you're watching on YouTube, just put your question in the comment section, and inshallah, I've got my handy little iPad here, and the technical team will send your questions to me, and inshallah we'll be able to discuss and answer them. If you'd like to call into the studio, 0203 515 0199 if you're in the UK. And if you're outside the UK, just call the WhatsApp number on the bottom there and you can get straight through to us. I'm your host, Mohsin Shah, and joining me is Sheikh Ali Ma'ar. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you doing this evening?
Alhamdulillah, fine.
Fantastic, Sheikhna. Sheikhna, we know that in Salah there is a lot of things to remember. Certain things like the rukn, if you miss it, your Salah is batil, you have to start from the beginning and so forth. So when I'm in ruku and I have doubt, did I recite Surah Alhamdulillah, not recite it, I'm not sure. Do I need to abort the Salah? Is my Salah batil, I have to start again? Or can I continue and it's nothing I need to pay attention to?
أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله الطاهرين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. What we have, one of the shakkiyat or doubts rules which are allowed, which makes the salah sahih and correct, no i'ada, no repeat, is when we have the rule is the tajawuz mahal, which means to pass to the next stage without recognizing the previous stage. So, for example, if I don't know if I've prayed or mentioned Alhamd and I'm on ruku', you just have to ignore and carry on with your salah.
Fine. Sheikhna, from WhatsApp, what is the fate of Christians, Jews, people of those on the Day of Judgment? Will they enter hell or paradise? It's a common question, Sheikh, and a lot of people do wonder that there's a lot of people out there who may not be Muslim, and they are good people, they are God-fearing people, they are people who practice their faith. They give to charity, they worship the God that they believe. Furthermore, they try to do good to others. They get married, they have children, they try and honor the marriage and so forth. So what happens to these people?
Well, basically Allah Azza wa Jalla is merciful, and from His mercy He would basically allow another opportunity for them to be tested on the Day of Judgment. So those who pass away with different beliefs and faiths other than Islam would be tested on the Day of Judgment. Of course, those who are ignorant, jahil in other words, and not those who are stubbornly rejected Islam and its teachings.
Yes. Sheikh, I've got a very, very long question here. So it's from one of our viewers, I think. Assalamu alaikum. Some of the faithful have computer programs that are beneficial for the dissemination of the teaching of the Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them all. And these have helped boost interest in those teaching and have facilitated guidance of the people of the Prophets, Ahlul Bayt, peace be upon them. However, the whispered circulation of the program is made feasible by the numerous copies that can be made from the original, such that everyone could buy a copy for a normal fee. The question here is whether there is any objection to that from the religious viewpoint, given that this brings out the promotion of the religion.
If there's no specific rights mentioned, like uruf, that this has no copyright, let's say rules, then they can copy and share. But otherwise, if there's copyright reserved, then you have to basically and somehow respect the copyright. Well, it's better to give free, these types of, let's say, CDs or books for the cause of propagation and teachings of Islam.
Yeah, inshallah. Thank you, Sheikh. Now we're going to go to a short break, inshallah. Join us back as we continue to discuss here on Ahkam SOS.
I have a question regarding keeping pictures of
Is it
scholars
permissible
at
to
home.
plant trees by or
What
over
Islam
the
establish
graves?
based on peace and
Is it permissible
non-violence.
to collect donations for charity projects from
Is it
individuals?
permitted to consume canned food imported from non-Muslim
Is there
countries?
an issue for men looking at non-Muslim women?
To have your questions answered live, WhatsApp us on +44 7415 092155.
Jiddu, I need to tell you a secret. I had an exam today and I cheated on the exam, and to be honest, I feel like it's eating me up inside as if it's haram.
Your father used to do the exact something and would always get in trouble. But you have done it now and cannot go back. I don't know if it is haram. Khair inshallah.
Thanks, Jiddu. Jiddu, I wanted to ask if it's halal to buy lottery tickets. They're so cheap and we could make a lot of money.
I don't know if it is halal or haram, but never think about something like that again.
Okay, I was just asking. Jiddu,
تعبتني. What do you want now?
I just wanted to ask if Sweet's beef gelatin is halal or haram.
You're supposed to check it before buying it, not after. I don't know if this is halal or haram.
Okay.
What now? I am trying to relax. Why do you keep asking me? تعال هنا الخاطر الله. Just go watch Ahkam SOS. Any question you have, they can answer you. You can call them, message them, anything. Ask as much as you like. They can answer any question from any marja, okay?
Yes, Jiddu Ahkam is available here on Imam Hussein TV, free every Monday and Friday, 7 p.m. on Imam Hussein TV, inshallah. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, please keep sending them in via the WhatsApp number. It should be there on the bottom somewhere. QR code in the corner. If you're watching on Facebook Live or you're watching on YouTube, put your questions in the comment section and inshallah we'll be able to discuss the questions. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Sheikhna, how would one perform the Salat al-Ayat after the expiry of the event of the solar or lunar eclipse?
Yes, basically if there's a full lunar eclipse, so let's say it covers the whole sun, for example, in this case, and somebody became known about this phenomena after the expiry date, time of the eclipse, then of course there's a qada on this individual because it was like a full eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody didn't know and after the eclipse he became known that it was just partial eclipse, there's no qada for that. Okay. So only qada for the full ones, the full eclipse, and for those who don't know the the happening of this phenomena. So there's no qada if it's partial, there's qada if it's full.
Fair. Sheikh, got some questions here from YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Salam.
I've started replacing music with latmiya, and I heard that could harden the heart. Is that true? Latmiya to harden the heart? I don't think so, Sheikh. Latmiya should do the opposite. No, it should soften your heart.
Yes, I mean, in terms of the latmiyat, it's to remember the tragedy of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam.
Yes.
And it's the opposite, 180 degrees. It will soften the heart. When you remember Imam Hussein alayhi salam and what happened to his baby in the day of Ashura, I would be crying and grieving, and that would soften one's heart. And I think it's definitely the opposite of what's mentioned. Yeah.
Another one from YouTube. Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Salam.
Can I buy non-vegetarian gum, but because I'm not swooning it? Don't know what swooning is. Swooning, maybe swallowing or something along them lines.
Well, any particles goes inside your throat, then it's, of course, if it's made from animal fat, haram animal fat, and of course it's najas and haram. If there's a cross contamination with wetness
Saliva.
and moisture, that's the problem with it.
Fair. From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Salam.
Can I sell products that are haram in my shop next to halal products?
It depends what kind of haram products. If it's alcohol and beer and pork meat, of course, it's not allowed at all, even to those who are not Muslims. Other than that,
chicken sausages,
yeah,
beef
for those who, as they say, mustahilli, those who consider as permissible in their beliefs, it's allowed, of course.
Okay, fair. From WhatsApp, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Salam.
Qibla, masturbation is guna kabira or saghira. I want to join Imam's army. Inshallah, you join. And I feel so embarrassed after doing this sinful act, and I do tawbah instantly. Okay, Sheikhna, we have different sins. Some are known as kabir and saghir. Where does masturbation come in that?
I think I came across this mas'ala for the month of Ramadan for somebody who committed this sin while he was fasting. And he was told to do the three kafara together.
All three of them,
so
it's deliberate.
I mean, one shouldn't take the sins lightly. That, well, it's not a major sin, it's a minor sin, then I can commit it. Sin is a sin. You are actually disobeying Allah Azza wa Jal, the creator of this universe, the owner of the paradise and the hellfire. So you shouldn't commit even a small sin, even a haram look at an opposite gender. That's, even if let's say if it's small, but still in the sight of Allah is disobedience of Allah Azza wa Jal.
Sheikh, a person who has run out of money or his vehicle is broken down, is it permissible for him to receive the zakah?
Yes, the zakah, as mentioned in the Holy Quran, وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ, and for those who are travelers, who are in need, stranded travelers, zakat can be given to them. Of course, if one cannot borrow money or has no access to money transfer, let's say, so they can transfer money from his bank back home to, let's say, Mecca, Medina. He's in Hajj, for example, or Ziyarah. So if there's no access to any kind of money, cash, borrowing, support, then of course, this person can actually get zakat just to be able to reach to the destination.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalam.
I have converted to Shia Islam from Sunni Islam about 5 months ago.
Alhamdulillah.
I am the only Shia in my house. Can I perform Jummah in a Sunni mosque for taqiyya purposes?
I mean, are you forced to do this kind of worship, for example? Do you have to go? It depends really. If it's some kind of a sign of that if you don't go, then you're going to be in trouble, or they're going to suspect that you might be Shia and so forth. It depends really. The taqiyya, you have to judge and see if there's life-threatening situation, then of course. You can even pray in their way, for example. But it depends really, the region, the place you are in.
What about fear of being thrown out of your house? What about the fear of, destroying family relations? Maybe my father will stop speaking to me, my mother will stop speaking to me, and so forth. Can taqiyya be also used for those circumstances?
Well, taqiyya, it's to do with severe harm in somehow, which is the utmost is the bloodshedding of this innocent person who believes in Allah Azza wa Jal, the Holy Prophet and his pure family. So it depends really, the level of taqiyya, the stages, and as I've said, if one can prevent from going to the mosque on Friday, then why not? To avoid being seen, for example.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. This is from WhatsApp. Is it permissible to use in our food oil derived from fish that are forbidden to us? Or about using such oils for other matters? That's a really good question, Sheikhna. Oils that come from fishes, which are good for you. The famous one, obviously, is cod liver oil, which you can get as tablets as well. People use them, and obviously cod is halal. But what about other oils that maybe come from whales or oysters and things like that? Are we allowed to use them?
We're only allowed to consume fish which has scales on it. Other than that, we cannot consume, even if it's in the form of medication, tablets, and to consume internally. More like external use, you can use it as a cream to wipe on your hands, for example. But to use it as internally, you cannot, because these are non-scales fish, and you cannot consume them.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna. Is mushrooms halal? The ones you get in the Italian restaurants, yes. The ones in Amsterdam, I'm afraid not, sorry. Next question. Sheikhna, we are aware of ingredients of food sold in shops in Western countries. It might be free from the ingredients that are forbidden to us, or it might contain them. Are we allowed to eat such items, looking into the ingredients or inquiring about them? Or is that not allowed to us, according to His Eminence, the Grand Ayatollah Sayyid Sistani?
Well, the Sayyid mentions that it's permissible to eat anyhow, as long as there's no traces of animal fat or any haram substance with it. And you can find out this by reading the ingredients, for example. Otherwise, it's just the plain cakes or fried, let's say, vegetables or samosas, let's say, vegetable samosas.
Yeah.
And so they're halal, anyhow.
From YouTube, Assalamu alaikum. Can I play a card game with my friend and one of them is a non-mahram? Wow.
Well, number one, the card, if it's a gambling card, it's haram.
Okay, so you're standard with the king, queen, jack, those ones.
Exactly. And the second haram, you're playing with an opposite gender who is not mahram to you. And that could cause or reach the stage of banter, cracking jokes, and so forth. So that could lead to, na'udhu billah, satanic, let's say, conducts and even thoughts.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikhna.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Is it permissible for a Sayyid girl to marry a non-Sayyid man? Oh, very controversial question. So, Sheikhna, where I come from in Pakistan, especially in the Punjab area, it is a cardinal sin for a Sayyid girl to marry a non-Sayyid man. Now, there are many reasons for this. Some say it's to do with aqaid, some say it's to do with fiqh, some say, that no. And I'm sure it's similar in Iraq as well. Our girls are for our tribal members only. We don't give to our ladies, our daughters, we don't give outside the tribe. And in other places, it is seen as that the status of a Sayyid girl is higher than a non-Sayyid. So how can you give a Sayyid girl to a non-Sayyid man where her status is higher because she's from Bani Hashim and so forth? However, I've seen in Iran and I've seen in Iraq, many Sayyid girls have married non-Sayyid men and so forth, and it's very normal and it's very, acceptable. So based on Islamic fiqh, what is the ruling in regards to a Sayyid girl marrying a non-Sayyid man?
Well, in fiqh, there's no place for such a mas'ala. Excuse me, that's not allowed. But anyhow, the hadith says that the one who comes with akhlaq and deen, فَزَوِّجُوا, the one who comes with akhlaq and deen. So it doesn't say if he is Sayyid or non-Sayyid. So we have to stick with the hadith. خُلُقَهُ وَدِينَهُ.
But Sheikhna, what about those who have, who say it's the custom here, we don't give our Sayyid daughters to non-Sayyid men. In fact, I do believe even Sheikh Bashir al-Najafi, Ayatollah Sheikh Bashir al-Najafi, Hafadullah, has said that in areas where the lady, her life is threatened if she's to marry a non-Sayyid man or so forth, it is the custom there for Sayyid girls to marry Sayyid men. It is haram for the Sayyid girl to marry a non-Sayyid. In those areas where it's taken very, very seriously, and yes, an honor killing can happen. I mean, can you understand where some people may disagree with the norm which is done all elsewhere?
Allah says in the Quran, "Inna deen inda Allah al-Islam." Islam is Allah's religion, nothing else. The tribal culture is not part of the religion. That's a tribal part. So we have to stick with Islam's rulings.
Thank you very much, Sheikhna. We do apologize. As you can tell, the Sheikh is not well, and I think it's very difficult for him to continue. Inshallah, we'll take your questions and others and roll them over to the next episode, which will be here on Imam Hussein TV, Wednesday at 7 p.m. If you have any question you'd like to ask, please send it in via the WhatsApp numbers there on the bottom, and you can scan the QR code and it'll take you straight there. If not, on the live show, you can go onto Facebook Live or on YouTube and put your question there, and inshallah we'll be able to answer all your questions. We do apologize, but the Sheikh is not very well, so we must end the show here. Inshallah, keep watching Imam Hussein TV. We have many, many more programs and documentaries for you guys to watch. And inshallah, you can join us on Sheikh. You can join us again on Ahkam SOS. If you have TikTok, please follow us, subscribe to us. We have a TikTok page. You can interact with us on there. You can ask questions on there. And inshallah, we will be able to respond to you on the TikTok page. That is at Ahkam SOS. inshallah. Take care. See you guys soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Water well project. IHC वारनि जी वॾी महिरबानी जिन असांखे मिठे पाणी जी टंकी हणाए ॾेई विया आहिनि. इमाम हुसैन चैरिटी वारनि जी वॾी महिरबानी जिन असांजे नवाब जे ॻोठ में मिठे पाणी जो टंकी हणी ॾेई विया आहिनि. असांखे हिते पाणी जी वॾी तकलीफ़ हुई. हिननि असांजी मिठो पाणी जो मुहैया करे असांजो तकलीफ़ ख़तमु करे विया. शुक्रिया ISC.